So we've all noticed that there are more homes on the market, there's more inventory, and we're seeing those homes stay on the market a much longer period of time. What I want to address with you today, and I want to give you an overview of what we're going to address, kind of a preview of the reasons and things we can do to make the market more swift, more fast, more efficient. So I want to emphasize before we get started that we are not experiencing a market crash. We are experiencing more of a normal market, and there are things we have to pay attention to in this normal market activity. For example, we have to be aware of the current market conditions, and that relates to interest rates, economic conditions, employment rates, buyer hesitancy, more inventory of the buyers to choose from. We also have to pay attention to not only the interest rates, but can the interest rates be purchased down by the seller as an incentive for the buyer to make a purchase? Similarly, pricing strategies. How do we price these listings so that we get them sold? And we've noticed that the average days on market has gone in excess of 58 days. This is not like pre-COVID or COVID days when we would sell things that would fly off the shelf in about 2 weeks. Insurance costs and their requirements are certainly increasing as well. Whether it's windstorm insurance or whether you live in an area or your house is located in an area now that requires flood insurance, this is adding expense to running that property. Similarly, home repairs and improvements. What repairs should be done? What improvements should be done to make your home stand out in the rising tide of inventory? Marketing and online presence. Now more than ever, we're seeing digital marketing come to the forefront, and that means not only professional photography, video tours, Matterports, 3D representations of the property, but it also means how those properties are positioned on social media and how the agent is using that positioning for search engine optimization. Because we know it's not just a house that they're buying into the neighborhood and the lifestyle. Then there's new construction competition. We know that all around Fort Lauderdale and the areas that new bills are going up by developers. Those developers are in a situation where they can offer incentives to the buyers. We have to compete with those incentives, whether it's paying for closing costs, whether it's a quicker closing. We need to be competitive to make sure that we can actually compete with those situations. We talked about economic uncertainty and buyer confidence. Buyers have been traditionally priced out of the market. The prices are high. The interest rates are high. As the interest rates go higher, fewer and fewer buyers can afford that increased price. We have to be cognizant of that. And then when it comes to condos, we have to worry about the Surfside laws in terms of what repairs in terms of safety have to take place in these condos, and what kind of reserves do the condos have to have in place. And last but not least, there's legal changes as far as how buyers' agents are compensated. So in the past, the listing agent would have an agreement with the seller that the seller would automatically pay the buyer's agent. That is no longer entirely true. Now we have different ways to pay the buyer's agent, and the buyer's agent does want to get paid. So those are impacting the speed and efficiency of how the market is going right now. We'll go into each of these topics today, but again, I want to stress, we do not exist today in a market that's crashing. We instead exist today in a market where it's going to take a professional realtor to understand the nuances of each of these changes. And it's going to have to present to you solutions, options, pathways you can take to sell your home in the quickest amount of time. As always, the realtor's job is to get you the highest price in the shortest amount of time. I look forward to sharing these with you today.